Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about how to trigger her attraction without saying a damn thing, without saying a word, right? Okay, so if you're not going to talk to a woman and you want her to be attracted to you, or if you just want to be more attractive to women in general, then what you need to be working on then is your vibe and your confidence levels and your general happiness with life. Because if you feel happy in life, and if you feel at least like satisfied with the path that you're on, because you might not, there's probably, things that you want, things that you want to try and achieve, things that you would prefer were happening in your life. But you got to at least be happy with the path that you're on, right? Because even if you're not quite where you want to be, you're at least on, you're trying to get to where you want to be, right? So for example, if you've got, if you want to make your side business your 9 to 5, for example, then you're doing stuff every day to try and get yourself there, and you feel really inspired, and every day sort of feels like a new adventure for you. Then you're gonna come across way better than those guys that just hate their circumstances in life and they're not doing anything to change their circumstances in life. They're not trying to get better. They're not trying to make things work, and because they're not trying, and they're just sitting around complaining about their lives, a lot of women find those men not as attractive. But women do find attractive guys that, maybe they're not 100% happy with where they are, but they're still happy with the path that they're on, and they're actually trying to get themselves out of the shitty situation rather than just staying in the shitty situation. Even if their efforts are not, they're not seeing much fruit of their efforts, they're still putting in the effort every day because they know that it's kind of like, there's like a story, I'm going to really butcher this, but there's a story of a guy who is like, there's like a big boulder, right? And he's like hammering away at the boulder because he wants to move it, he wants to break it. And, the first like 10 whacks of the boulder, it seems like nothing's happening, but he just keeps on going at it. He keeps on going at it. He keeps on going at it. He keeps on going at it. And it may be at the 100th hit, or it could be at the 1,000th hit, but he has a hit, and the boulder sort of like cracks and goes into like pieces, or like splits in half, or whatever, So even though you might not see much fruits of the action and the things that you're putting into what you're doing, to try and create the life that you do want, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to happen. You just have to keep on going at it. You kind of have to just keep on grinding away until you get it. But if you like what you're doing and you can find a way to get yourself inspired, then it's not going to feel like a grind, okay? Because, obviously there's going to be some days where it will, because everything does at certain degrees. But if you can find a way to get yourself inspired and to feel good, and one of the best ways that I personally would recommend this, because I have to do this, if you look at the amount of videos that I've made on this channel, it's nearly 2,000, right? So I think it's like 1,700 and something. So I'm nearly at 2,000 videos, on this channel. And yes, some days I feel really, really inspired, and other days I don't feel as inspired. But if I'm really in a slump, the best thing that I do is I put on some like motivational music. I personally like the Lion King soundtrack, just, whatever. And I just sort of like listen to like the inspirational parts of that soundtrack. And I just sit there and visualize the things that I want and the things that I want to achieve. And I visualize helping people. I visualize making videos that provide a lot of value. And that usually helps me, get some soul back into myself, right? Because sometimes when you're working at something and you're doing it for a long time, you can experience a bit of burnout. And I've definitely had periods of that from making coaching videos on YouTube and from making my business and stuff. But if I can get myself inspired and I can get the sort of like my creative juices flowing, shall we say, that's a really cringy, weird way to say that, but it helps, right? And what helps me most is motivational music. It helps put some soul back into it. If I feel like I'm burnt out and I don't have much, the embers are, I'm running on embers rather than a flame, sort of thing. If you can sort of picture that. So if you can get yourself inspired, if you feel ambitious, if you feel happy with where you're going, and if you've got a vision for the future, you're going to come across way more happier. You're going to come across more interesting too, because you're actually trying to create a cool life for yourself. And of course, again, when I talk about these different things, what I want to emphasize is that it has to be cool for you. Like, what's cool for me, it might not necessarily be cool for you, right? And it's going to be different from everybody. You might, want to, what might inspire you and your vision for the future is you might want to live in a log cabin out in the woods and go hunting every day. For someone else, it might be another guy might be wants to have a Lamborghini and live in a penthouse in the city, right? Everyone's got their own tastes, their own different things that they would find really cool and really awesome. So it's about finding what that is for you, what your ideal perfect situation would be in terms of your career, in terms of how much money you're earning, in terms of the kind of place that you want to be living in, the kind of area you want to be living in, what you want to be doing day in and day out, what you want to contribute to the world and that kind of stuff. It's going to be very individual for everybody watching this, okay? But if you know what it is that you want, or you take a bit of time to do some soul searching and figure that out, and you're working towards that, and you're trying to make that happen, first of all, what you'll notice is that women become more of a side quest than the main quest, right? So instead of, oh, I really want to get laid, or I really want a relationship, and being desperate for that, what you'll find is that sort of takes a back burner and it's not as important anymore. And because it's not as important anymore, women find you more attractive because you're not desperate to get in their pants anymore. And they can sense that you've got more self-control and you've got other things that are sort of like in your mind that you're trying to do and trying to achieve in your life. And women can sense that. Women can sense if you've got a life, right? And things that you're trying to achieve, as opposed to your main focus in life is to get laid and to get into a relationship or to find romance. So you're going to have all these different things in your life that make you feel really good. So that, and women are going to notice it's going to be part of your vibe. It's going to be part of your aura. When she talks to you, and you're going to light up on the inside talking about all the cool things that you're trying to achieve and stuff. And she's going to notice that. She's going to notice that sort of like passion inside of you and the fact that you're inspired and you've got really cool things that you're excited about, right? Because one of the things that will put a woman off a guy is a guy that hates his life and maybe hates life in general and has no longer got an excitement for life, okay? That's why some women are really attracted to guys who still have that sort of sense of wonder about the world, and the world hasn't beaten it out of them, basically, or beaten them down too much. They've still got that sort of optimistic, oh yeah, I can definitely achieve all these things. And women find that very, very endearing in a man if he's faced a lot of hardships, but the hardships haven't made him lose his sense of belief, made him lose his sense of wonder and for what's possible for him. And women find that very, very sweet and attractive and endearing, and so women will actually find that more sweet than if you like buy her stuff, right? Which seems like a flawed premise. You think, oh, if I buy her flowers, then she'll think that's sweet and attractive. But actually what she will find attractive and actually endearing is if you've got hope inside your heart and belief and you keep showing up for yourself and you keep on trying to make your dreams a reality, even if it may seem far off in the distance. And if you've got that aura, if you've got that vibe and you're confident and you're happy and, you when it comes to women, you just got an attitude of, you know what, I'm just going to see where things go. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's all part of a divine plan and you truly believe that, then yeah, she's going to find you way, way more attractive than the guy that is desperate for love, desperate to get in her pants, thinks that he needs to be all like macho in front of her in order to get her to be attracted to him. It's all about what's going on in the inside in here, more than what you're saying, more than what you're doing. It's got more of how the visions that you've got and knowing that you're going to achieve those things, and it's a very sort of delicate balance, yeah. But if you can find something that's really inspired you and you've got a vision for the future and you're working towards that and you feel really awesome about it and you're really looking forward to the future, then you're going to be way more attractive to women than those guys that just hate their life and hate their circumstances. So thank you so much for watching. If you would like to get in touch with me personally and you would like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. The link will be in the description. You can also go and read my book for free if you want to go and coach yourself. Attracting the beautiful woman of your dreams, just go to, again, the link in the description, www.christineloveridge.com, then go to the menu on the website and then click on the book, and it'll take you straight there. You don't have to log in, you don't have to sign up, you can just study it there for free. But if you need help with this specific situation of becoming more attractive to women, having a more attractive vibe about yourself, then I do highly recommend that you get in touch with me personally so I can help you with that. Because obviously these videos are very generalized. They're not very specific in terms of your individual situations. So if you feel like you do need help with this, then please get in touch and purchase coaching with me. And I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.